Hey guys, let's take a look at radical equations. Let's first, before we go to them, let's go back to do something we did before. And look at this and tell me what the method is to solve this. And if you remember, you would just go ahead and add 7 to both sides. And then get a minus 2 squared on the left and then 7 on the right. Okay. Then you take the square root of both sides, which would give you a minus 2 on this side. And if you recall, you need to go ahead and put plus or minus the square root of 7 over here. Last thing you'll do is move that negative 2 over. So you have the answer is a is 2 plus the square root of 7, or a is 2 minus the square root of 7. You have two answers there. Okay, just to kind of get a rolling start with us. All right, we're going to do a slight twist on this. So take a second if you want to and pause it and write this down. And this is different. And if you look at this one, this is, you're going to take the square root to get the answer. This one, you're going to actually have to end up squaring it to get rid of that radical sign. So first thing you do is you're going to move that negative 2 over here. And so your new equation looks like this. X minus 4 equals 8. Right? Now to get rid of the radical, you're going to have to square both sides. Okay, so if you just square that, you'll just have whatever's under the radical, just x minus 4. Okay, over here you're going to have 8 squared, which is 64. And of course, if you move the 4 over, you'll get 68. There is one thing we have to do though. On these radical equations with square roots, since we end up squaring things, sometimes we turn a negative number into a positive. Because in other words, let's say one side of the equation has negative 10. Well, if you square that, that's negative 10 times negative 10, which is positive 100. So what we need to do is, when we get an answer, every time on one of these kind of problems, we need to put it back in the original question to make sure it works. So we say the answer is 68. Okay, so let's just put it back in here and go, okay, 68. Well, 68 minus 4 is 64, right? The square root of 64 is 8. Then we should have an equation. We'll check and see if it works. Does this work? Yes, it does. So that one you can say the answer is 68. All right? Let's do another one. All right? Take a second. If you need to pause, copy this down. Okay, well on this one, we need to take 2 away from each side. And then we have square root of x plus 4 equals negative 9. Okay? Well, to clean this up, to make this, to get rid of this, square root sign, we're going to have to square both sides. All right, so now we have x plus 4, and that equals 81. Okay, well then of course we take away 4 from both sides. There is our answer, 77. Okay, let's check it again. All right, and we say the answer is 77. Okay, well let's stick it in there. 77 plus 4 is 81, right? The square root of 81 is 9. 9 plus 2 equals negative, okay. No, that didn't work. Okay. So since you don't get an equation that works, you can, no solution. Or you can put, you can null, something like that. You can just put no answer or whatever, okay? You might have picked up on the fact that the reason this didn't work is because we ended up adding the 2 and getting a negative number on the right side. And the one back here, we added this number and we still had a positive on the right side. So that's kind of a clue that that answer will not work. Go ahead and run it through anyway, at least at first, so you make sure you're doing it correctly. Okay. All right, try one more. You go ahead. Pause it, try the problem, and we'll see what we get together. All right, we'll add 3 and add 3. The square root of x minus 3 equals 8. Okay, square both sides. X minus 3 equals 64. So x, we say, is 67. Well, let's check and see if it is 67. All right, we'll put it back in here. All right. 67 minus 3, 64, right? Square root of 64, 8. 8 minus 3 equals 5. Yep, that works. That'll work. Okay. All right. Now this looks kind of weird. Take a second and pause, copy this down. Okay, now, you know, these look intimidating, but don't let them fool you. I mean, things will just line up very nicely and it'll be a real great equation. But you will want to go ahead and kind of go back and check and make sure it does work, okay? We treat this exactly the same as the old one. We're going to go ahead and just move over. Let's go x squared plus 2x plus 13. I'll move over the negative 3 till we get x plus 3 on the right side, okay? What do we do next? Square it, right? Okay, we square this, which means we multiply it by itself, which means you're going to have to go through and do that distribution. So, okay, this left side is a piece of cake. That's just what it is under the radical. You don't need to do anything there. This x times x will give you x squared. X times 3, 3x. Another 3x will give you 6x, and that'll give you 9 here, okay? All right, so nicely, now you see what happens, right? The x squareds on these type of problems always cross out. So now you have this easy problem where you could just go, okay, I minus my 13, So I have 2x equals 6x minus 4, and then minus my 6x. There you go. Negative 4x equals negative 4, and of course x is equal to 1, we say. Let's check it out and see if it works. We say x equals 1. Let's put it in there and check. Okay, we have the square root of, let's do that of course, 1 squared, which is 1, plus 2 times 1, plus 13, minus 3 should be 1. Okay, well, 1 plus 2 plus 13 is 16, right? The square root of 16 is 4. 4 minus 3 equals 1. Yoink, there it is, works. Okay. All right, try these 3 practice problems and pause them, and we'll do them together here in just a second. So go ahead and start off and go ahead and do A. All right, here's A. I'm moving this over and getting a 10. I'm squaring both sides and I'm getting 100. And I'm moving that over and I'm saying x is 105. Let's check. If this is 105, 105 minus 5 is 100. The square root of 100, 10, is 10. Oops. Minus 3 equal to 7? Yes, it is. Okay. All right, pause it and try B. All right, I'm moving this over. Then 1 goes over and becomes negative 12. Square both sides. You get x plus 5 equals 144. Negative 12 times negative 12. And then x would be 139, we say. Let's try it. 139 plus 5 is 144. The square root of 144 is 12. 12 plus 1 is negative 11. No, it's not. So there is no answer to this. And probably, again, you might have recognized the fact that since the right side was negative, if you square the negative, it turns into a positive. That's probably a clue to you from now on that those won't work. Okay. All right. Go ahead and try C. Go ahead and hit pause and try C. All right, that's what I've got for C so far. I'm going to move this over here, and that turns into, oops, that's a big X. X minus 2, all right? So I will square both sides. So I get x squared plus 3x minus 10, that's just, you know, getting rid of the radical, equals, and I'll do it this way, x minus 2 times x minus 2. So x times x is x squared, x times negative 2 is negative 2x, another negative 2x gives you negative 4x, and then 2 times 2 is 4, okay? Nicely, my x squareds cancel out. And I have 3x minus 10 equals negative 4x plus 4. Bring this over, that turns into 7x. Bring that over, and it turns into 14, and x equals 2, we say. But we could be liars. All right, let's try it. This, let's see, we'll just put it in here. The square root of x squared, that's going to be 4, plus 3 times 2 is 6, minus 10, plus 2 equals x is 2. So 4 plus 6 is 10. 10 minus 10 is 0. The square root of 0 is 0. 0 plus 2 is 2. Yep, works. Okay, that is it. All right, guys, thank you.